Hello, welcome back to Reads of an Apple. My name is Stacy and it is December 8th, so I'm here to do day 8 of Vlogmas. If you haven't seen any of my Vlogmas videos that I have done this year, definitely check out. I have them all saved in a Vlogmas 2022 playlist. But let's just kind of dive right into it. So I have been doing the Adagio Teas 24 Days of Tea Advent Calendar. I'm sorry if you've watched my other videos because I say the same thing every time, but in case you are new, this is my 4th year doing the Adagio Advent Calendar. The first year I did it was in their bagged version, and and then the second year up till now I have done their loose leaf version. I feel like they do more unique blends and you get a lot more newer teas. At least when I first switched over, according to customer service, you get a lot more newer blends if you do the loose leaf. And I love it. Adagio is my favorite tea company, hands down. So let's just kind of get into it. So we are on 8. Okay, we are on 8. And I do have a spreadsheet of the teas that were in the 2 previous years, so 2020 and 2021. So just to kind of see what's new and what isn't. So we've had a couple repeats so far. And this one is stuck. Okay, I had to kind of rip what it's in to get it to come out. Okay, so I'll pop this here, something like that. And so today is Honey Bush Banana Nut. I know I have had this one before. So this was in last year's, and this was December 3rd, if you care to know that. And I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. And then this also was in the 2021, and it was December 14th, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars back in 2020. So I'm guessing for some reason this year I'm doing out of 10. Don't ask me why I changed my mind this year, but I'm guessing that this will continue to be a 10 out of 10 and full stars ahead. I am a fan of their Honey Bush tea blends, and this one is really good. I've had a Honey Bush blueberry pancake blend from them before too. That was really good. And that one's more like blueberry maple, but I can already smell it. It smells like banana bread. Like when you first cut it open, it smells like banana bread. Once you actually smell the tea, it definitely is a lot more full-bodied and a little spicier than at least the banana bread that I make. So you can tell the difference, but that is what it looks like. We get to see lots of big chunks. So let me read you. I usually do this before I cut it open, so I will try to be careful here. So steeping instructions, they recommend 212 degrees at 5 minutes. And this has honey bush tea, apple pieces, a cinnamon, cocoa nibs, natural banana flavor, natural chestnut flavor, and marigold flowers. And this is a caffeine-free tea. So, yep, you can see the pretty apple pieces and the marigold flowers in there. And it smells delicious. Tonight I'm using this tea strainer. Which is good because I feel like honey bush teas are usually, because when the honey bush is the base, I feel like it's a smaller tea leaf when you steep it. Not quite as small as a rooibos, but it definitely has smaller leaves. And then before I get this steeping here, I will show you, oh, that's the back half. I am using my Dead Serious About Books mug. This is from Hello Lovely, and ignore all of the fingerprints and marks on it. This is my second cup of the tea tonight. I had some peppermint cheer earlier. So we'll get this going. Okay, so while that is steeping, let's talk about today's novella. So today I'm going to talk about Second Bite. This is by S.J. Tilley. She is a new author to me. This is the first book in her Bite series, and this is a fairly new release. It came out November 1st, 2022. This is a new author to me. Never even heard of her before, but I saw this recommended on Bookstagram as one of the spicier cozy Canada feeling. This isn't set in Canada, it's set in Montana, but it has that kind of like Canada, Northern America feel to it. And I thought it was cute, so I decided to pick it up. And I love this. I debated giving it 4.5 stars because there was a tiny little thing in the epilogue that bothered me. But I just decided to give it 5 stars because, let's be honest, I enjoyed this a lot. I've already added it to my physical wish list. So, the story behind this story. This is based off of like Great British Bake Off and like Christmas cooking like championship competition shows. And in this, we have Alice was gifted or was submitted to the show by her cousins as a Christmas gift. And she ends up making the show with 3 other contestants. And they chose this show because not only does she eventually want to have a bakery of her own, but she has the hugest crush. Excuse me here, my nose just started dripping here. On celebrity chef Michael, and he is a pastry chef. But I mean, we're talking she's like half in love with him, and she watches all of his like solo interviews and reads articles about him, like pays attention to the charities that he supports. Like, she is kind of in love with this guy, but she's also kind of in love with the persona of him. But with him being a celebrity chef, I feel like there's less of a celebrity persona, at least the way he's portrayed in here. He has less of a celebrity, like, he's known to kind of be the more stringent. It seems like he's kind of based off Paul Hollywood, based on her like little blurb or her dedication, or there was something in there that kind of was like mentioned Paul Hollywood in like author's notes type area. So he's definitely a lot stricter, but she also knows that he's stricter for the show, but he's also like almost brutally honest about it. So it's not like he's saying things to be mean. Like, I get that vibe from Simon Cowell. Like, sometimes he says things to like play up his mean persona. But that's kind of beside the fact. And now I'm just going off here. But so I loved Alice. When she first meets him, she's so nervous. She like almost falls over when she like goes to like, she can't meet his eyes because she's freaking out. And she's trying to hide it, but she does not hide it very well. And you could just tell that she is so nervous and so anxious. And it's both because she's on the show, but a larger percentage of that is because she's meeting her like celebrity crush. And one thing that's kind of funny that she talks about is he tells everybody on the show that his name is Mike, but she saw in some little tiny interview a throwaway mention that only people who know him as like a celebrity chef call him Mike. His friends and families and people he's close to call him Michael. And so she thinks of him as Michael, but he introduces himself as Mike when they first meet on the set. And so she's like half in love with him before they even meet. So this is definitely insta love on his side, but I don't know. It didn't bother me at all in this one. Like, he was definitely very possessive very quickly. But it was also kind of like he's feeling the doldrums, and he's 45 and Alice is 30. So there is an age gap, but with the ages they're at, it doesn't feel as much of an age gap, but he does have a little bit of silver and gray at his temples and stuff like that. And he just sees her, and he sees her, and he's like, nope, she's the one. I know it. She's it. And then he just is like, I can't make my move. I can't show any favoritism. I can't even like sit down and have a conversation with the girl because he's a judge and she's a competitor. So they don't want any mingling because they're all staying at like the same hotel, and it'll be frowned upon, like even if the judges just sit and have dinner with people, because even if it's everybody's there and it's like equal opportunity, there's still a way for there to be some sort of bias formed. And oh my gosh, and she has a mishap on her second one, and oh my God, my heart broke for her, and she was so sad, and she's crying, and oh, it broke my heart. And we at one point we're in his POV, and he's just like, I just want to hug her, she's crying. And what I said is true, because she was making this ice cream cake, and then she was gonna do like a jello scarf and decorate it, and because it was gonna turn into a snowman, and her jello thing somehow leaked, so her ice cream cake had jello all over it, and she was just heartbroken, and it looked horrible and it tasted horrible. And he was like, very like, oh my gosh, this is horrible and this is disgusting. And then she felt bad because, I mean, she was already upset that she performed so horribly because she is a fan of the show. She knows basically at that point she will not win because she has performed so horribly in at least one of the challenges. And there's 3 challenges, and it's not like some of the Food Network ones where every day people get sent away. They have 3 days of competitions, or 3 big competitions, and then they choose the winner, but there's only 4 people competing, so there's no like elimination. They just go off of the body of their work, which I thought was interesting, and I like that style too. But because nobody else really had a really horrible showing one of the days, she basically knew at that point she probably wasn't going to win the whole thing, even if she brought something super kick-ass on the 3rd day, which she ends up doing. But I don't know, I really enjoyed this. It made me happy. It's about 130 pages. It took me less than an hour to read because I was flying through it. I was sucked in 100%. I couldn't, like, when I went to do my stats after I finished it, I was like, oh, that was longer than I thought it was. And I just really enjoyed it, and I'm definitely intrigued to check out more books by S.J. Tilley. I was looking at some of her other stuff earlier today, and they are more like full-length books where they're in the 300, 400 page range, but I'm intrigued. I liked her writing style. The only thing that I wanted to dock it for is the epilogue. The epilogue is... they're already talking about getting married and engaged, and there are 2 epilogues. And I guess it's kind of cute, but he's like, no, we're dating until I can find a ring that you like, and then when we're engaged, we'll be engaged, but I want to be married to you by New Year's. And it's about Christmas. It's like Christmas Eve or Christmas Day when they do their final filming, so it's like right before Christmas. But I don't know, I just thought it was super cute, and I loved that he just immediately was like, no, that's her, and he was all in from get-go. And it didn't, like, sometimes it feels unbelievable, but just the way, because we spent so much time, it was pretty even in the dual POV, and we spent so much time in his head, it felt like it was real, and he was just, he was ready to put in the effort to make this last for the rest of their lives, and he just had a knowing, and I just really loved it. So 5 stars. I'm very excited to read more from S.J. Tilley, and thank you to Esther for recommending this book. I am even more intrigued to check out some of the other books in this category that she recommended on Instagram, as well as some of the other books that she put out there as recommendations for different types of holiday or tropes for holiday romances. So, man, this wasn't even on my original list as an option, but I'm so happy I picked it up because I enjoyed this immensely. So, let us try the tea once again. So, what's fun about like these herbal teas that have apple pieces in it is when you take the steeper out and the little apple pieces aren't dehydrated anymore and they're all like plump. I'm just like, oh, they're so cute. Look at the little apple pieces. Is that just me? That might just be me. Ugh. Once it's steeped, the nuttiness comes out so much more, but it still has that like bread smell, but it's like a nutty bread. And the smelling it before it steeps, the banana is a little more prevalent, but once it steeps, the nuts become a little bit more prevalent, at least smell wise. Oh my god. I'm telling you, if you like banana bread and you like tea, this is banana bread. This is banana bread in a cup. It is so good. It is so good. I actually, last year I bought a smaller package, one of their, I think 3-ounce packages of it when I was doing a purchase after the advent calendar to get some of my favorites. And this was one of the ones I blew through the fastest. And sometimes if it's a tea, I really enjoy like the Yuletide toddy. I will get a bag, but I'll like trickle it out and I'll make it last. But that's also a Christmas tea, so they don't always have the blend available. And I don't know if this one's considered a holiday tea or not, but I highly recommend checking this tea out. If you like banana, if you like banana nut, if you like banana nut bread, if you like tea, if you like fruity, like, if you like to drink things that taste good, check this tea out, for sure. Once again, honeybush, banana nut. And I knew this was going to be a winner, and I'm glad that it has held up to being a winner. So, all right, I will stop rambling at you. This was a good day. We got a fun book to talk about. We got a great tea to drink tonight. So yeah, I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to leave me an emoji down below, why don't you go something like cookie or Christmas treat related? That would be super fun and match the cover for today's novella. But otherwise, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know what to do. And I will see you all tomorrow.